Today I'm showing you how to make those cookies that you get in the bakery section of Walmart or the grocery store, Lofthouse Cookies. I'm showing you how to make them at home. It's a soft and pillowy sugar cookie with the best icing. You're not going to want to miss it. It's Dorothy with crazyforcrust.com and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are making Copycat Lofthouse Cookies, which are one of those favorite indulgences from the bakery section at the grocery store. Except I love making them at home even better because homemade is always better than store-bought. You're gonna love these. You can color the frosting however you want, decorate them however you want. These are going to become a classic. For more delicious desserts and easy recipes, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Now let's get in the kitchen. Now the base of a Lofthouse sugar cookie is a soft and pillowy cookie that's made with sour cream. So we're going to start off by mixing a half of a cup of unsalted butter that's been softened with 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar and 3/4 of a cup of sour cream. For best results, use regular sour cream, not low fat. And also make sure that your sour cream is room temperature. Super important because otherwise it's gonna not wanna incorporate and be lumpy. So make sure that your butter is softened and that your sour cream is room temperature. And cream that together until it's nice and smooth. Then add 1 large egg, a half of a teaspoon of baking soda, a half of a teaspoon of baking powder, a half of a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Mix that together just until it's mixed, and then you're going to mix in 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. I'm using a stand mixer today, but you can also use a hand mixer for this. And just mix it until it's smooth and creamy. It is a cookie dough that is a little bit wetter than what you would normally see for a sugar cookie, and that's totally okay. Don't have to worry about it. This dough also does not require chilling, which makes them even better. So go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and then we're gonna scoop out our cookies. All right, I'm using a 2-tablespoon cookie scoop to scoop my cookies today, but you can make these any size that you want. Scoop them onto your cookie sheet about 2 to 3 inches apart, and then these need some help spreading. They're not gonna spread really on their own, so I'm using the back of a measuring cup. You can use the back of a small ramekin. You could even use the palm of your hand or the bottom of a glass. The cookie dough is sticky, so I highly recommend spraying the bottom of whatever you're pressing them down with nonstick cooking spray, and you'll want to spray them every 2 or 3 presses so they don't stick to the bottom of that, and then just press them flat. And then that way they will stay pretty much that same size. They'll just puff up a little bit. Once you have them all pressed, go ahead and bake them for about 8 to 10 minutes or until they have just lost their glossy sheen. They might be a little tiny bit light golden around the edges, or they might not be, but you don't want to over bake these because these are so much better when they're nice and soft and pillowy. So as soon as they lose their glossy sheen, they are done baking. Let them cool. And while they're cooling, we're going to make the frosting. The frosting for this is just a simple buttercream frosting. I don't know about you, but the frosting on the ones you buy at the store just tastes fake because it's probably made with like shortening and some other stuff, some additives and preservatives. So your homemade buttercream frosting is gonna be delicious, but I won't tell anyone if you use a can of icing. I'm making the frosting with a half of a cup of unsalted butter that's been softened. I'm mixing in 3 cups of powdered sugar. Make sure to do this really slow if you're using a hand mixer, a stand mixer. It still might get everywhere, but just make sure you're using a really large bowl. And then go ahead and add a teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk. You can use regular milk, non-fat milk, or half and half. I'm using half and half today. I kind of like that a little bit extra fat. I don't want to go as thick as whipping cream for this, but I absolutely love using half and half for whole milk because I feel like it makes the frosting a little bit richer than if you're using a lower fat milk. Now at this point, you can tint the frosting any color that you want. I'm leaving some of this white, I'm frosting some of these blue. You can do any color sprinkles that you want. These are great for Christmas if you wanna decorate them with white frosting and Christmas sprinkles. And like at the grocery store, these come in all different colors, pink, blue, I've seen them green, purple, for every holiday. So your choice, do whatever you like. I love the look of the blue frosting with the colorful sprinkles. Once they're done and frosted, these are nice and soft. They're super soft cookies. And that frosting kind of gets semi-hard on top, so you don't have to worry. You can stack them without much transfer, but they are super soft cookies. You can tell when you pull them apart how soft they are, and they're sweet, and oh, they're so much better than the ones that you buy at the grocery store, and the secret to them is adding sour cream. It's kind of genius. Leave me a comment, let me know what your favorite kind of cookie is, and keep watching for even more cookie recipes.